It's an honor to be here with you today and sharing the stage with these wonderful women who are doing fantastic work. What I wanted to talk today is about connected intelligence, a topic that's near and dear to my heart. I've been researching this subject as well as working in it for a good 5 years. I've been in the wireless industry for about 25, an industry that's changing every day. And the disruption defines the industry. So I thought I'll try to connect the dots between connected intelligence and senior housing and care. If you look through the history of the last 250 years, you will see that every 30 to 40 years, there is a seismic change worldwide. Typically, it has started in a given geography, but lately it has been everywhere. And this has been studied by the various economists like Kondratev, Schumter, and most recently by Carlota Perez as long waves. And the thesis is that every 30, 40 years, a new technology or a wave of technologies come into play that completely disrupts the way we live and travel and think about societies. And I propose the thesis that we are living through that change right now, which I call connected intelligence, which is built on sensors and software and is disrupting every industry. If you look at the last 2,000 years and the technology development, most of the interesting things have happened in the last 40 years. And I propose that in the next 10 years, there will be more innovation than has been in the last 100 years. And it's going to change pretty much every industry, including the senior housing industry. And the reason is a framework of technology that's coming into play. Connected intelligence is not new. It has been around in some shape or form for about 150 years, as telemetry is machine to machine, Internet of Things, and now connected intelligence. What's different is various components that make connected intelligence so powerful. The second feature of connected intelligence is the programmability of connected intelligence, meaning you can program both the sensors as well as the software to do what you really want. So the basic framework of connected intelligence is a suite of technologies that have been maturing over the past few years and are likely to mature over the next 25 years. And they are 5G, which is the basic access technology that's coming into play. A lot of operators around the world are deploying it as well as a lot of operators in the US. What 5G does for you is provides you a bandwidth with gigabits of speed instead of megabits of speed that's available today. And the latency reduces from 100 milliseconds to less than 5 milliseconds. Then you have artificial intelligence that's extremely powerful in predicting or analyzing complex pieces of data that humans find hard to understand. You have things like autonomous vehicles, but autonomous anything, meaning that without human intervention, the software and the pieces of hardware and software come to play that define how things proceed. And so autonomous vehicles that has been in the news of late, but there are a number of other areas where autonomous technologies will apply. That will fundamentally change societies, just like societies got changed at the turn of the last century with the introduction of automobiles. You have blockchain, which is being applied to solve critical problems such as food safety. Walmart is applying that technology to reduce the process of food safety from 7 days to 7 seconds. That will fundamentally change how certain processes are done in not only agriculture and food safety, but wide variety of industries. Then you come to robotics. Robotics has been around for, again, a number of years. But the possibility, because of computing that's available today, you have robots that's starting to come down in cost, $20,000, $30,000. They're starting to automate a lot of functions, and it's being used in retail industry and hospitality industry already. You have computer vision that does facial recognition. It does emotional recognition and can help us understand humans' behavior much better and automate a lot of functions much better. You have HMI, the human-machine interface, with technologies like Siri and Alexa. In fact, research has shown that humans are much more truthful to machines and to robots than they are to the doctors and humans. And so we expect, as we go forward, these technologies will play a central role in assessing healthcare. IoT, or Internet of Things, sensors are everywhere. Sensors soon will be inside us, and they can help us prevent catastrophic events such as heart attack. They can help detect heart attack 2 to 3 weeks before it happens and automatically schedule an appointment with the doctor to help put some corrective measures in place. Then you have AR, VR, or virtual reality and augmented reality type technologies, which fundamentally shape how you educate, how you engage with new types of experiences without the constraints of location. So as such, the suite of technologies, and I didn't even get to quantum computing, you see that the next 10 years will generate close to $1,000 trillion in global output. And connected intelligence is going to be central in every industry and the global economy. So how do connected intelligence, how does it shape the senior living experience? Before we get to the how, we need to understand the why. And the problem statement or the opportunity statement is right in front of us, meaning that the demand is going to exceed every decade, as well as the challenge to fulfill that demand is going to be tremendous. We know a number of seniors living with chronic condition will continue to increase. The possibility of hiring staff will be a challenge. Nursing staff will be a challenge. And as such, we need to look at non-traditional ways to augment our ability to service the sector. So I propose a kind of a 7-point framework. You have to capture the data. Being an engineer, I always look for data before I go solve the problem. You have to, once you acquire the data, you have to look at how to use the data. Data helps you identify patterns that are not discernible by a human eye. That can help you retain staff, engage your residents much more, and expand your services. This industry is probably the only industry I've come across that thinks saturation is at 11% penetration. And this overall experience can help give a better healthcare experience to the residents. Capturing data is essential. Using the sensors that are around us, on us, inside us, will help give you enough information to put corrective measures in place. It's not just healthcare, but also operations. Detecting what's going wrong, when it's going wrong, and taking corrective measures before they happen is essential to operating the industry. Then you're looking at, once you collect the data, what do you do with it? There are a number of technologies such as AI, blockchain, and others that require the feeding of the engine with data. You capture the data and apply the problem statement to it, and it'll start producing results which machines are very good at. And the primary function is discovery of hidden patterns that humans are not able to discover. Whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in operations, it's essential to use the data to target certain problems or opportunity sets. And so machines are very good at that. Software is very good at that. Once you define the rules, it helps you go find exceptions, solve the problem before they happen, alert humans or other machines as they happen. And as such, data analysis becomes much more easier. Then you look at staff retention and engagement, which is a critical component of the industry. Robots, many have said that will start to replace humans. I don't believe that, especially in this industry. I think humans will play a continuous important role in assisting and augmenting various tasks and functions. But with the help of technology, you can make the lives of the staff much better and easier and focus on things that really matter. Similarly, once the staff engagement is high, the resident engagement will be automatically high. And in addition, you can use technology to engage them at a different level using voice technology, using AR, VR types of technologies, using different form factors such as tablets and glasses and whatnot. Autonomous vehicle will help carry citizens from point A to point B with ease, and so dependence on a driver or a vehicle goes away over time. And staff is relieved of some of the mundane tasks that we require them to do. Furthermore, I think every time an industry faces a challenge or a saturation point, you have to start decoupling the layers. And same thing probably needs to happen in this industry as well. And once you decouple housing and care, you start to see that more opportunities are there beyond the 11% penetration. And I think the digital tools will help with that engagement. Then you get into healthcare management. Once you have all these pieces in place, healthcare automatically improves. Once you're detecting early, once you are not reactive to everything, healthcare will improve on its own. And so it'll help detect a lot of inefficiencies and take care of them in real time. So how do we do it? And there's a kind of a four-pronged approach: collaboration, innovation, education, and industry rethink. With collaboration, you have to not only collaborate amongst yourself, but also bring other participants into the industry. So they start building solutions for you. But to do that, you have to have scale. Otherwise, software developers are not going to be interested. Because of the enormous fragmentation in the space, you need to have some standards in both software that you deploy as well as data, so that the data is portable and goes with the person, whether they're going back home, going from facility to facility. The next is continuous innovation and education. And innovation doesn't mean that you have your own R&D shop, but probably a collaborative R&D approach, where you test out new methods, new strategies, new technologies, and share amongst the industry, as well as invite other participants which are not directly involved with the industry. And so the tools like 5G, AI, and robotics are going to mature over the next decade, and it's best to embrace them and get familiar with them much early so that you're not surprised by the impact they have in the next decade. And finally, it's important to take a fresh look at the industry. As I mentioned before, by decoupling layers and looking at every element of the supply chain, you'll be better able to target new opportunities beyond what you are able to do today. And it's my firm belief that by 2025 and beyond, if you embrace the notion of connected intelligence in your day-to-day life, it'll help empower the industry and will serve the industry better for the future. Thank you.